Good afternoon, everyone. Am I audible to all? Am I audible? Okay. Do anyone remember what we were doing in our last class? It's been around more than 2 weeks. So, do anyone remember? Anyone? Anyone give me a quick recap? What we have studied till now? I know that you are busy in the placement and all, but yet, can you give me a little small hint what we have done till now? No one? Okay, let me tell you. So we have studied like different data types in Python, like what were numbers, data type, that like we are having integer, float, complex data type. We studied about string data type. We also learned like different function, built-in function of strings, like how we are going to slice the string, how we are going to access the string. Different things were studied there. We also learned about indentation, what are the rules while using any if statement or else. So what are the rules, like here we are not going to use some curly braces and all. So indentation matters the most here. We have studied our operators like assignment operators, associativity operator and all. And also we studied about the precedence of operators, like which operators should be given the priority. And if you remember, one last topic which we were discussing was list in Python. So list is one type of built-in data type in the Python. Do anyone remember what is list? Anyone? What is list? Anyone? Just tell me how you're going to define a list. Okay, no problem. So let's do a small revision on list. So list is one type placing or putting items in a bracket, square bracket, yeah, given. So list is one type of built-in data type, you can say, in the Python, which is going to store multiple items in a single variable. So if you want to store multiple items in a single variable, you can use list. Now it is used created using a square bracket. Okay, and most important thing is that it can store values of different data types. If you remember array in the case of C, C++, or Java, what? what we were doing there, we used to define some data type while defining an array like int arr. So what does that mean? That arr is going to have a value of integer type only. So array can have multiple items, multiple values in a single variable. In the same way, we can have a multiple items in a single variable, which is known as list in the case of Python. Here we have to define using a square bracket, and most important thing is that we can store values of different data type. And here there is no restriction like that. You have to have a value of only integer type, or say float or string type. You can have values of different data type. And also while accessing the list, you have to use the indexing. So you can use the indexing. Indexing starts from 0 in the case of list. Like say here, like say a equal to 1 comma type of is list. You can see. You can see here the value inside a is 1, which is a number type. Apple, which is inside a single quote, so it is going to have a string type. True, that is a boolean type, and one more list inside the list. Okay, and to access this element, just use a square bracket here and use the indexing. So indexing starts from 0 in the case of Python. So when I say a0, 1 is going to be printed here. When I say a1, apple is going to be printed here. And the most important thing, see, list is one type of data type, but the element which is going to be stored inside a list is going to have their own data type. That means I can check the type of each element inside a list here. What is going to be type of a0? Anyone? Yeah, Nirav, it is going to be of integer type. You can see we can manipulate the list in this way also. Like if you want to add some element, or like say if I say I'm saying that you have a list of elements, I want you to add a0 and a5. So what you are going to do, first of all, check whether the value inside that particular element is an integer or not. Like, because in the case of strings, you can't do mathematical operations like multiplication or division. Like say type of a1, it is a string. Type of a2 is a boolean type. What will be type of a3 now? List. Anyone else? Or ARR? Nero, there is no concept of array in the case of Python, unless and until you are going to use an external library, that is NumPy. NumPy is an external library which we are going to, which in the further class, in the I think unit 4 or 5, we are going to use it. It is mainly used to define an array. By default, it is list only, but we are converting the list into an array. Okay, Nirav? Anyone else? What will be the type of A3? Int and list. Yeah, anyone else would like to answer? You can see type of A3 is list. So we can have list inside the list also. No issue. I have discussed many built-in function of list and all. Let us start from next topic here, like sorting a list. Okay, just give me a second. Let me give you a brief revision here. First of all, now if you remember, we can change the element item inside a list. What was logic there? We were using like indexing operator here. So whenever if you want to change the item inside the list, what you can do, you can just write the variable name, square bracket, and the index where you want to change the value, and just write the value. The problem was that it is going to replace the value. It is not going to insert the value. So when I say like fruit equal to apple, banana, mango, grapes, lychee, so when I say fruit 1 equal to pomegranate, even though fruit 1 was banana, and it is going to replace the banana with pomegranate. Okay. But if you want to insert an element without any replacement, what you can do, you can use an insert method, dot insert. So what you will do, just write the variable name, dot insert, and the index where you want to insert the value. Like say we were like currently the value of a is 1, apple 2, 1 2 3. So what you can do, if you want, a dot ins when I say, like, let me show you. When I say a3 equal to, you can see here none is being stored here. When I say a3 equal to none, okay. So it is going to replace the element when I use assignment operator. So if you want to insert, what you can do, a dot insert keyword. Now what you can do, you can pass the key index here, like index 3, and a value which you want here. You can see here a value is 1, apple 2, then the list once again 1 2 3, then the none. Okay. So insert method is used to insert a new value without any replacement. Append function is going to insert the value at the end of the list. Okay. When I say a dot append hello, it is going to insert the hello at the end of the list. Extend list is used to combine two lists. Okay. In a such a way that when I say indoor a dot when I say variable 1 dot extend in a bracket variable 2, so variable 2 list, the element is going to be added at the end of the first variable. So here were indoor and outdoor. So indoor dot extend outdoor. The problem here is that outdoor is going to be added to the end of the indoor, like carom, ludo, badminton, now cricket, football, hockey. Okay. But it is going to change the value of indoor also. So problem with extend keyword is that the value is going to be changed inside the indoor variable. So this value will directly be inserted here, appended at the end of the indoor elements. But if you remember, I have taught you like in the you can use a plus keyword. Plus keyword will directly add it without any changes in the first variable here. Like say a value of a is this one, like say b equal to uh, let's say I'm using c equal to a dot copy. C dot the value of c is c dot extend. When I say c dot extend b, you can see the value of c is going to change here. Now a and b has been inserted here. Now c doesn't retain have its previous value. It has been permanently changed in the memory. But what you can, we also can say a plus b. If you want, you can C equal to A plus B. C is going to have these elements. So when using you are using extend keyword, it is going to change the value inside of first variable. It is going to add the elements of second variable into first variable. But when you're using a plus operator, it is going nothing is going to happen here. What you can do, you can take another variable here to assign the value here. Okay. Now remove was used to remove the specified item. You will specify some items in the parentheses. Pop method is going to return the delete the last element inside of a list. Now one was pop index, that means we are going to remove the element at particular given index only. Now there were two keywords like clear method and del keyword. Clear methods empties the given list completely. Del keyword is going to delete the specified index item. That once again, like when I say pop and indexing, same comes here. You can what you can do, you can use also use del keyword del and the index of that particular list you want to delete. Also, what you can do, you can completely delete the list using a del keyword. Okay, so you can see del the variable name indoor, and you can say in the square bracket just pass the index here. It is going to delete the value at particular index, that is index 1. So cricket has been deleted here, you can see here. When I say del indoor, it is going to completely delete this particular variable. So here the one revision of list is completed here. Let's start now our main class today. Now sorting of the list. Okay, now there are some built-in methods in the case of list. One is sort method. So sort method will sort the list alphanumerically. Okay, ascending by default. So if I say sort the list, what you can do, you can directly use a sort function. Okay, so it is going to sort the list in what manner? Alphanumerically. Alphanumerically means alphabet will be sorted first, treated, given will be given a priority, then the numbers will come. Okay, and by default the sorting method returns the ascending in nature. By default sort method are ascending in nature. So if you want the list to be in descending order, you have to pass an argument reverse equal to true. Just see here, let's say value of a is 1 apple, true, 1 2 3 none, hello. When I say a dot sort, just give me a second. Okay, since we are having a list inside a list, that's why we are getting an error. Let me define one more list here, like a. See, when I'm having some value like a, I think there's some issue here. Just give me a second. Uh, just consider simple example here, like a equal to app, bag, and back. One more is here, like app. When I say a dot sort, you can see here one thing is here that a capital uppercase letter is given a priority before the lowercase letter. The app has been printed first, then small app, then back, then back. Okay, so it is going to sort the list in such a way like uppercase letter will be given the priority first of all. So why we are getting a error here? Because see, when you're using a sorting function in the case of list, either you have to have the string or you have to have a numerical values. If you're having a combination of both integer and string, so it is going to generate an error. So if you want to sort a like say numerical, you have to store that number in a string format. So you can see here like games equal to Ludo, hockey, cricket, carom, baseball, and football is there. When I say games dot sort, the capital B has been capital letter is being given a priority first of all. Baseball, carom, cricket, football, hockey, Ludo. The same way, in the way a dictionary, how the elements are stored in the dictionary. So when I say num equal to 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, num dot sort, the value is 1, 10, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So when you see here num equal to 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Num dot sort is 1, 10. Why? Can anyone tell me why 10 has been sorted first before 2? What will be the output here? N dot sort. Like I'm defining a list here, n equal to the elements are 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, 3, 2. So what will the value here output will be? Output here, anyone? It will get sorted right. What will be the output, Nirav? when I say n dot sort. You can see even though 10 or 110 is greater than 2 or 3, but it is a string type, so it is going to be treated one before 2. That's why 1, if you remember in the dictionary, it will not be 1, 2, 3 and say 10 and 110. Since we are having a list type, so it is going to a string type, so 1 comes before 2, so 1 it will be treated 1 0 will be sorted first before 10. 10 will be sorted first before 2, and 110 will be sorted before 2 and 3. Is this clear, Nirav? Chintan, see, uh, first of all, to sort an element, to sort a list, you have to have an element of same type. Okay, so you can't have a mixture of string and integer and all. Like just say like if I ask you sort the given values 5 4 apple ball, there is no pattern is there for sorting. Okay, but if you remember one thing, in the case of Python, by default each and every input is a of a string type. So what you can do, you can take the number in a string format, and then you can apply the sorting function here. So when I say, like say, just consider an example here, like a equal to app, you can see a is a list, is a list of values here, but each and every elements are of string type. Okay, all values are inside a single quotation here, single quotes. Even the number we are having, they are inside a single quote. A dot append. Okay. Now when I say a dot sort, just let me first of all copy this element, like b equal to a dot copy. When I say a dot sort, you can see the elements are sorted here. Okay. Now you can see here like app, capital app, bold, 12, 1, 10 was there. So first number has been given priority before the alphabets. So 1, 10, 12 has been sorted here. If you see here, even though app and app are same, but capital uppercase letter will be sorted first of all. So in this particular example, like any 1, 10, here you can see here, even though 10 is greater than 2, but if you think about a string, 1 comes before a 2. That's why 10 was sorted before 2. Is this clear now, Chintan? What else you can have, like I can have an integer data here, like 4 5 6 7 8 comma 9. Now by default each and every sorting is going to be of ascending order. So if you want to sort this number in a descending order, what you can do, n dot sort reverse equal to true. When I say reverse equal to true, that means we are going to sort this element inside the list in a reverse order. You can see the value inside value inside a variable n is 987654321. Is sorting clear to everyone? Also always keep in mind, when you are having a mixture of elements, even though we can have a string, variable, boolean type, each and everything inside a list, But while using a sort function, so always keep in mind that you should have a same type of elements only. Now there is a one method known as reverse. Okay, so it is going to directly reverse the list. Okay, now here I was having baseball, carom, cricket, football, hockey, ludo. Apple has been inserted at the last. When I say games dot reverse, the list is going to be reversed. Okay, the same way. That, like if you remember in the case of string, so there we were using some negative indexing to reverse a string. In the same way, we can use directly a reverse method to reverse a list also. You can see the value inside n is 987654321. So if you remember the morning class, if you remember, the people who were in the lab, so we used the slicing operator with a negative indexing stepping to reverse the string. So the same thing can be applied here also to reverse a list, or you can directly use the reverse method. Now if you see here, when I use n square bracket, it doesn't affect the element stored inside the variable n. It is just going to print the value in a reverse order, but it's not going to be change the value here. But when I say n dot reverse, the value inside the n is going to be changed here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It is going to permanently reverse the element inside the list here. So you have to keep in your mind when to use this function like sort or reverse function, because they are going to permanently change the order of the element. Is the reverse method clear? Okay. Now just tell me one thing, like I am having a list like a equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, and having a list b equal to when I say c equal to a, what is going to happen here? When I say c equal to a, the element, the value of a is going to be copied inside a c. You can see the value inside c is 1, 2, 3, 4. Now one thing to remember here, like I am going to append an element, c dot append 5. The value of c is going to change here like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But one important thing is here. Let me show you the value inside a also. Did we appended any value inside a? No, but the value inside a has been changed to one more value has been inserted inside of a. Why? See, when you are using a assignment operator, that is equal to operator, for having a say copying the value from one variable to another, the problem comes is that both of these variable is going to refer the same memory location. Now, if anyhow, if you're going to change or do any manipulation with a one of these variable, it is going to affect the another variable also. So like I say, when I say a dot append, a dot pop, so the last value of a is going to be popped 5. The value inside a is 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me show you the output of value inside c also. 1, 2, 3, 4. Why this happening? Even though they are two different variables a and c, but they are referring to the same object. Yeah, they are referring to the same memory location. So to avoid this problem, what we are going to use? We are going to use dot copy operator. Okay, like b was a comma b. Let's take a variable d here. B dot copy. When I say b dot copy, the value of b is being copied to d, but different memory location is being assigned to D. In the previous case, A equal to C, the value of A was being copied to C, but they were referring to the same memory location, like same object. But here, when I say D equal to B dot copy, even though the value of B is going to be copied inside D, but they will be referring to the different memory location. Now let me show you A and sorry, B and D. When I say D dot append, when I say D dot append C, you can see inside the value A, B, C. And inside B, it is just A and B. Okay. So whenever you are going to, whenever you have to copy the values inside one of the variable, so just remember you have to use a copy operator. Okay. You can't directly use an assignment operator here to copy the values of one variable to another variable. Is this clear to everyone? Copy operator. So always keep in your mind, like whenever you're going, like there will be a chance, like if you remember, like whenever we do some programming, we assign some value, like if I'm having a two arrays, what I will do, if I want to just test my whether my I am getting a correct output or not, what we do, like a equal to b, we directly do a equal to b and do some manipulations, try to check out like whether I'm getting a correct output or not. But in the case of Python, when you are following that particular rule, you will be, the what problem we will be facing, the both of them will be referring to the same memory location, and because of which your uh, original values are going to be changed, even though you are doing manipulation on the another variable, but even though it will, the values in the main variable is going to be changed. Now joining two list, the same thing which I taught you now, like plus operator and extend operator can be used to join two list. Like in the first case, when I say uh, say when I use extend keyword, problem was that the variable inside the first values inside the first variable is going to be changed. So what we do, we use a plus operator here. So when I say use plus operator, the values inside the first variable is not going to change. It's just going to reflect in the screen, but it is not going to be changed. So what you can do, you can see here we can have another variable here to store the particular list. But when I say extend outdoor, it is going to change the value inside the indoor. It is first variable. So it's totally depend upon you and your problem which you are solving, whether you have to use extend keyword or you have to use the plus operator. And again, list inside a list. This I have already taught you this again. This one also, like we can have a list inside a list also. So you can have any number of list inside a list. If you remember, in the case of other programming languages, we were having two-dimensional arrays and all. So same here, you can say when I am saying list inside a list, it is one type of two-dimensional list. Like say a equal to 1 comma 2 comma 3 4 comma 5 comma 6. Let's say the value inside a variable a is 1 2 3, that is a list, and then another list, that is 4 5 6. Can anyone tell me what will be the length of this list? What will be the length of a? Hemant 2. Anyone else? Will it be a 6 or 2? 2. Chintan 2 comma 3, Monica 2. No problem. Even if you're wrong, it is nothing to worry. So I just want to see what you think about the length of A. So length of A will be 2. Why 2? See, basically A is a list. Even though we are having a list, though we are having a 6 element here, but if you see here, like if you remember, I have told you, element inside a list is whenever you're having more than one element is inside a list, you use a comma separator. So you can see this A list is opening here. We are having some element here. Then now after closing it, we are having a comma separator here. Okay. So you can see here the length of this A will be 2. Now A0 will be what will be the A0? Anyone? 1, 2, 3. Chintan, is it clear why it is length of A is 2? Monica and Nirav, 1, 2, 3. Let's see. No, it will not be 1, 2, 3. It will be a list of 1, comma 2, comma 3. Nirav and Monica. It will be list of 1, comma 2, comma 3. Okay. Now, if I want to access this element like 2 here or 1 or 3, what we have to do? Like A0. Now, another square bracket will come. It's going to tell the interpreter. First of all, A0 is going to find this element. Now, again, we want to find an element inside this list. So, I will use another square bracket here. So, you can see here one type of two-dimensional array is being generated here. So you can have a list inside a list. To access a list inside a list, what you have to do, you have to use the if you're accessing one by one element inside a list inside a list, so you have to use a two square bracket. First square bracket is going to tell the interpreter that we want to access the first element inside a variable A. Now our second square bracket is going to tell the interpreter that we want to access the first element inside the A square bracket 0 variable. Is list inside a list clear to everyone? So you can have any number of lists inside a list. Even you can have a 3-dimensional, 4-dimensional, 5-dimensional, totally depend upon you, whatever you wanna try. Okay. Now here the list comes to an end. Anyone having any doubt in case of list? See, you have to do a small revision regarding the previous class. Even I tried to give you a small revision recap regarding the previous class, since there was a 2-week gap here. But if you have any doubt, you can ask now regarding the list. See, list is one of the important data type in the case of Python. If you're going to learn like some data science or machine learning and all, list is going to play an important role. When I say we don't have array in case of Python, but list is going to be going to behave like an array. And there is a one external library numpy.array. So it is going to convert this particular list only to an array. So if you have any doubt, you can ask me now. Anyone having any doubt related to list, or is it clear to everyone? Is it clear to everyone? List data type in Python. No doubt. Anyone else? Anyone? Or is it clear to everyone? Should I move forward? Okay. So one another data type we will start here, that is tuple. Okay. Now again, tuple is also used to store multiple items in a single variable. Okay. It is created using a parenthesis. In the case of list, we were using a square bracket. In the case of tuple, we were using a parenthesis. Again comes here, it can store values of different data type. And tuple index starts from 0. So you can see each and every definition are same as a list. Okay. So once again, tuple is used to store multiple items in a single variable. It is created using a parenthesis, and it can store values of different data type, and tuple index starts from 0. But what makes it different from list? See, when we talk about lists are mutable. Do anyone know the meaning of mutable? Yes, it means modifiable. So, like in the list are modifiable, lists are mutable. That means we can do some operation, do some changes. But tuple, in the case of tuple, we can't do changes. Okay. Even though you can see everything, the definition is same, but just the uh, there we were using a square bracket. Here we are using just different braces. Here, like here we are using a parenthesis, but everything definition here remains the same. But the major difference comes here is that lists are mutable while tuples are unmutable. That means we can't modify. So you can see here like fruits in a simple parenthesis, I've written like apple, mango, guava. You can see the class of fruits is tuple. To access these elements inside tuple, you have to use a square bracket, same here, and the indexing. And length also, you can see the length of fruits is 3. Now the main difference comes here. Tuples are immutable. That means we can insert or delete. We can't insert or delete an element. Sorry, it has been written can, but we can't insert or delete an element inside a tuple. Okay. So tuple are immutable. It means we can't insert or delete the elements of a tuple. So to update a tuple, we need to convert the tuple to a list, do some updating, and later convert this back to a tuple. Okay. So I said like we can't insert or delete a tuple. So insert an element inside a tuple. But what you can do, you can convert a tuple to a list and do modification whatever you want. You can apply it on each and every function which are used in the case of list, and then convert it back to a tuple. Okay. So like to define tuple, let's say here a equal to, use a parenthesis here like 1 comma 2 comma apple comma true. Type of a is of tuple. So can anyone tell me? See, I told you like list a tuple are almost same, but the major difference is that we can't do any modification with a tuple. So can anyone tell me where you are going to use tuple in the real world example? Can you think of some example here where you will be using tuple? Anyone? Can you think of a example where you are going to use tuple to store password and other sensitive data maybe? Okay. Anyone else? To store data. Monica, you can store the data in a case of list also. Why, where you are going to use tuple? We can store data in a list also. But why tuple? See, tuple are mainly used in the case of networking. Why? To pass one data to one place to another. Like mainly in the case of IoT, Internet of Things. So when I say if I'm collecting some data, we can data or insert and data. No, Monica, we can see tuples are immutable. That means you can't insert or delete the data. That's why I'm saying. So it is mainly used in the case of IoT. So if you're collecting some data from sensors, like there are 5 sensors are there, so 5 data will be collected at a particular moment of time, and it can be sent to the server. Okay. Now, what's the benefit of tuple is that no one can in between can insert an extra element in the tuple. So if I'm having a 5 data from 5 different sensors, so only 5 values will be passed. Okay. Not a single extra value can be passed, or not any intruder can in between can insert any value or delete some values. Chintan, is this clear? So even though both list tuples are almost same, but if you remember, list are mutable, tuples are unmutable. So when I say if you want to do some changes to a tuple, what you have to do, you have to convert the list into a say tuple into a list. How you are going to do this? Like say a equal to list. First of all, type of a is tuple, and say a is equal to list of a. Now you can see, check the type of a, it becomes a list type. Now what I can do, a dot append value of a is 1 to apple to ball. Now what I can do, a equal to tuple of a. Type of a is tuple, and a value inside tuple is 1 to apple to and ball. So if you want to do some modification with a tuple, you have to first of all convert the tuple to a list, do those modification, whatever modification you want, and convert those that particular variable again to a tuple. Is this clear to everyone? Anyone, any doubt? Monica, is this clear? Yeah, Chintan, that's true. See, each and everything has an merits and demerits also. So even though what hackers can do or intruders can do, like first of all access the particular data, change it into a tuple, do some modification, then convert it again into a tuple and send the data. Okay. So that's the drawback here. So what was the benefit of having a tuple? Like, see, for if you're facing like in a simple way, like I am expecting a like say when I'm saying like you said, like you can pass some password. So what will happen here? Like I am expecting a 5 password here, but I am getting a 6 password or 4 password. At that particular moment only, I can close the connection here. Okay, that someone has breached our data and he has tried to change the data in our the data which you have sent me. So in that case, yeah, that's true, definitely true. That is the biggest drawback here. So while converting a tuple to a list, we can do some modification and changes. So tuple top, we will continue the tuple in the tomorrow's class. Not no problem. Let me take your attendance. Is the today's class clear to everyone? Anyone having any doubt? No. Thank you all. You may leave the class now. You can check your name first of all before leaving. Thank you, Monica.